Awesome. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm super excited to be here today. Although I wish I was in person with you all, I am excited to digitally spend some time with you all this afternoon to talk about what Passport's been up to and teach you more about the Passport operating system. So to kick it off, I'll give you a brief introduction. My name is Mary Gray Cunningham, and I am a product manager for parking at Passport. So what that means is I work with a group of cross-functional folks all around the building, ranging from sales and marketing to engineering, support, every function you can imagine, with the goal of delivering high-quality products that serve the needs of our clients and developing roadmaps that really solve problems for you. Today, we're going to be discussing the Passport operating system and the evolution of our parking product. And our agenda, I'm going to give you a brief overview of who Passport is, introduce you to who we are as a company. I'm going to walk through this ever-changing, ever-crazy landscape of user choice and how everything's evolving. And then I'm going to walk through what the Passport operating system is and how our ultimate goal is to enable an equitable parking ecosystem within your environments. So we have a lot of good content to cover today. I'm going to attempt to save some time for Q&A at the end. However, we have a bunch of eager Passporters attending the summit who are really excited to chat more if we run out of time. So let's go ahead and dig in. So brief introduction of Passport. If you're not familiar with us, we are a transportation software company. We're based in Charlotte, North Carolina, and we build solutions for over 1,000 municipalities, universities, private operators to help them manage their streets and sidewalks. We operate in a few different verticals and have a few different product offerings, but ultimately we offer an end-to-end operating system that enables our clients to do ultimately two things at a high level. One, we enable them to make their streets and sidewalks transactable. And two, we help them enforce those transactions happening on their streets and sidewalks. And our ultimate goal is to provide you all with the tools you need to enable more livable and equitable communities. We're going to dive in deeper as to what the Passport operating system is in a little bit, but at a high level, it's the infrastructure layer that powers all of these interactions that are happening on streets and sidewalks. We offer a few different products ranging from micro-mobility to enforcement and digital permits. And today we're going to focus on parking management. If you know anything about our parking product, you may know us from our Passport app or the white labels that we provide, but we're currently evolving our parking product to keep up with consumer shifts that we're going to be spending some time to talk about and ultimately meet the desires of our clients. And integrated within all of our products is Passport Payments, which powers that transactional piece of the operating system. So digging in, at Passport, we recognize the way that you've managed your streets and sidewalks in the past just doesn't cut it today. I love this image because it really shows how far we've come and how streets and sidewalks and the way that you manage your curb are continuously evolving in such a short amount of time. And they're going to keep evolving, and all of these interactions are changing every single day. And of course, you've had technology that's helped you keep up with these changes. However, the pace of innovation is unlike anything we've ever seen. So digging into a timeline of parking technology. So in the 1930s, the parking meters were first introduced, and this helped parking operators like you address how people and cars interacted with the communities around you. They improved access to business, they drove revenue, and increased visibility into how these vehicles were interacting with your environment. And then by the 80s, this is when digital parking meters were introduced, and they were accepting credit card payments for those who found carrying around coins a burden. I know that's me. And then lastly, in the 2000s, these mobile parking apps were introduced, and at the time, super revolutionary. And I know many of you offer parking apps or are looking to offer parking apps within your environment. But today, your streets and sidewalks are way more complex than that. You have more than just vehicles interacting with them for the purposes of parking, going somewhere, and then leaving. You have increased competition for access of that curb space, and it's not going to slow down. We have ride sharing, electric charging, curbside deliveries, dockless scooters and bikes, and all of these things competing with the same real estate as these personal vehicles are as well. And tomorrow, I can almost guarantee it's going to be different. We have autonomous vehicles emerging, and who knows what other vehicles or robots or things are going to be competing for this space as well. But what we do know is that digital has changed the way that we as consumer get places and do things. And we've become accustomed to digital experience. In fact, we've embraced them, and also we expect them. So whether that's paying for parking from our phone, ordering our lunch, or hailing an Uber, digital is at the core of everything we do. And because of digital, the way we expect to make payments and receive goods and services has changed so much. We want the experiences to be convenient. We want them to be intuitive and easy. We also want our payments to be safe. And frankly, we want everything right now. And because of all this, we as consumers, we want more choices in everything that we do. We expect options, we expect choices, and we want the things the way we want them, and we want them tailored to our own unique experiences. From the services we use to the apps we download, we expect options. And it's up to us as leaders to deliver our customers more options. This is what makes our communities more livable and equitable. And you as city leaders and parking operators, you need the tools to make providing options easy for you to deploy and manage. So in understanding the shift to an ecosystem of user choice on a very macro level, we also understand that's what you want to accomplish within parking as well. And what tools you've been made available in the past just don't allow you to effectively deploy an ecosystem of parking options. And frankly, just adding more ways to pay isn't the solution. At Passport, we're really embracing the trend of offering more ways to pay on your streets and sidewalks, and we're here to help make that easy. So in doing so, we've analyzed every single pain point involved in deploying multiple apps into your environment, and we've developed a solution to solve all of these pain points. So the first is maintaining multiple systems of record. So in changes in policy, enforcement, or payments, if you have multiple ways to pay, you're going to have to make those configuration changes in multiple systems. If you're a parking director that wants to deploy a new progressive rate policy or change your enforcement software, not only is that operationally really challenging and difficult, but it's also leaving your system for vulnerability. You know, you have multiple systems working beside each other. Some might not calculate rates the same way. Some might integrate with enforcement software in different ways. So you need to have a single consolidated system of record. The second is payments. And when you offer multiple ways to pay, you have funds flying in from a bunch of different places. And I'm sure your finance teams are scratching their head when you're so excited about deploying multiple ways to pay. And they're trying to figure out, how is reconciliation going to work? When am I going to receive my money? Am I going to receive it in multiple places? How is this all going to work? And lastly, your innovation is somewhat restricted. You're only able to offer options from vendors that are willing and equipped to sell to cities and universities. So this restricts the options to providers who offer parking as a core part of their solution. Additionally, this means that your purchasing teams and procurement teams are swamped with multiple RFPs or multiple awards, and we know that this is really exhausting. At Passport, we believe parking isn't an isolated experience. Rather, it should be woven into the things that we're already doing today and integrated in apps that people are already using. This is where you as a city leader are able to really drive innovation, and this is where the Passport operating system can come in and help you. So you as a parking operator, you need a new operating system to help you manage all of these vehicle interactions with your streets and sidewalks so that you can keep up with the expectations of your customers and offer them user choice. The Passport operating system ultimately simplifies the management of all of these interactions by creating an open market, which we refer to as an open parking ecosystem for parking payments in any apps beyond traditional parking apps. We centralize zone and rate management into a single system. And ultimately, at the end of the day, we help you increase compliance, grow revenue, and ultimately make your customers happy, because we know that's super important. Now we're going to break down the operating system. At its foundation, we have our strategic decision-making layer, and the Passport operating system provides you with the data and analytics that help you derive insights of your parking environment. These insights help leaders like you develop and implement new policy based on all of your strategic goals. In the next layer, we have our business rules and logic. This is where we provide you with the tools to manage your very unique rate policy, determine eligibility, and ensure compliance and enforcement. And on top of all of that, this is where I get most excited. We've built an open parking ecosystem via APIs, which are just data connectors allowing two systems to communicate with each other, providing the opportunity for others to innovate and weave parking into their existing user experiences. This is where that open parking ecosystem is born. Via API connections, these partners can include mapping applications, lifestyle apps, tourism apps, in-dash infotainment systems, you name it. Anything can be a parking app now. This ecosystem can enable you to meet the needs for all new interactions that impact your communities in the future. Running through all of this is Passport Payments, which is embedded directly within the operating system. And even with many ways to pay, your finance team can rest assured your financial reconciliation process is streamlined and you receive a single remittance for all of the funds collected. So to wrap it all up, I feel like this has gone by so quickly. We understand that every parking environment is unique. You face your own set of challenges. You serve your own distinct group of customers, and a single app just doesn't meet the needs of everyone today. The Passport operating system connects you with partners that integrate parking into the experiences that people are already having today. One app can't serve everyone. Your city has a diverse population with its own needs, from the underbanked to the physically disabled, and building an open parking ecosystem with the Passport OS ultimately enables you to create what we all love, more livable and equitable communities. So thank you. I'm going to stop sharing. I saw some chats come in. We have a few minutes. So I see a question about payments. And I think the question is if we support third-party merchant processors and gateways in the Passport operating system. Ultimately, we've woven in Passport payments into the operating system such that when you have all of these apps integrated into your environment, you're still receiving that single remittance. We offer competitive pricing with Passport payments so that we can meet or actually exceed the pricing that you have with your current vendor today. And the reason it's completely embedded into the OS is just to make sure that that financial reconciliation process is as streamlined as possible, so you're not receiving a bunch of different funds from a bunch of different vendors. I see another question about signage. We have been very thoughtful about how signage would work. We understand that it could get kind of crazy when you have multiple apps in your environment. You're having to throw up a bunch of stickers all over the place. We have developed, I didn't have a chance to share this with you all today, but we've developed what we call our open ecosystem signage. Some of the folks from Passport who are attending the summit, I'm sure would love to discuss this further. We've also built a digital asset called parkingapp.com, which you can include on signage. And the user goes to parkingapp.com, they see that on the sign, they enter their zone number, and parkingapp.com shows them all of the ways to pay in their environment, and they can go and open or download that app directly from their phone.